Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington, and today is going to be another one of my pull week videos. Today I'm going to be reviewing 5 books, and unfortunately for you guys, 4 of those 5 books are on my computer, so I only have one thing that's physical that I bought in the store today. I'm going to get right to it with, actually before I get to it, all these books this week were just so good that I'm not going to have them in any order of worst to best, because they were just all so good, but I do have my best that is just a clear best in my mind, and I will save that for last. But to start off with, Venom, issue 27, and this is probably my favorite issue in the entire story arc, the Minimum Carnage story arc. Everything in this issue besides the art I really loved. There's a lot of battle sequences between Carnage and Venom and Scarlet Spider and Carnage and all of those guys, and the Enigma Force is having a fight of their own because the symbiotes have been unleashed, and there's an entire army of them, and with the entire army, the 2 parent symbiotes are Venom and Carnage, and because Carnage is still a pure symbiote, where the Venom symbiote has been tampered with by science and all that kind of stuff. The army of symbiotes listen to whatever Carnage says, so you can see where that becomes an issue for Venom and Scarlet Spider later. And so the story and the action in this, I just loved it all, and there's some pretty good Venom parts in it that where he overcomes some things that he's been dealing with. The only thing that I had a problem with in here was the art, because I feel like it wasn't as terrible as I usually make it sound when I'm talking about Chalvey or Chalvey on art, Declan Chalvey. But there were some full pages of symbiotes, just army of symbiotes and Venom and all that kind of stuff, that I really wish a better artist would have been given the opportunity to draw. They looked pretty good, but I just feel like I wanted better art for something so big. But besides that, it was a pretty good issue, and definitely my favorite in the entire arc. So I'm gonna give Venom issue 27 4 out of 5. Next, I'm talking about Marvel Universe versus the Avengers, and again, this is on my computer, and I'm looking at my computer right now. The one thing I have to say about this is that it's not really versus the Avengers. There's Avengers in it, but a lot of the Avengers are already cannibalized. They're already like zombies, and really the only 2 Avengers, the 3 Avengers. Actually, no, there is a couple Avengers. You don't see Captain America in this, though, and Hulk's not in this, but Black Widow, Hawkeye, Iron Man, and Thor are all in this, but Black Widow plays no role. She has no lines. Tony Stark has a couple lines, but really, the main character in this is Hawkeye. Hawkeye's the voice of this story, and in this story, we left off last issue. Dr. Doom came to New York, and it was left at that. So now it goes into detail for his arrival, and pretty much that he explains that the infection is not just a New York thing; it's an Earth thing. It's in the biosphere is what he said. So it affects all of Earth and everything that, like Asgard as well. So gods, are also infected with this. And he said he has the cure, which is this Doom crest, that it's like a necklace thing that protects you from the disease. And he says he's willing to cure everybody as long as the heroes bow down to him on their knees. And they don't take that well, and a big fight ensues. But then after that fight, they find out Doctor Doom is not the average Doctor Doom. He's way more powerful at this point, and he means way more business at this point. And then they show that after their fight with him, and they show that with a fight with another big character that comes up in the middle of this story, and it pretty much proves how grand of a scale that this infection is going around to everybody. And the end of this definitely has a big meaning, and a big, whatever you want to call it, a big thing happens at the end of this that is very interesting. But just like the whole story being told from Hawkeye's mind, whatever he's thinking and whatever, you follow Hawkeye. It would kind of be Marvel Universe versus Hawkeye, but maybe Marvel Universe versus the rest of the Marvel Universe from Hawkeye's perspective. I don't know. But anyways, this issue I'm going to also give a 4 out of 5. It was pretty good. It was better than the first Marvel Universe versus the Avengers, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next issue. So next we have Thor: God of Thunder. This is the first issue of the Thor story from the Marvel Now things. This story takes place in 3 different time periods. It takes place in the way past, in 893 AD. It takes place in the present day, and it takes place in the millennia in the future. So, in the past, in the 893 AD, Thor, he's not yet has his hammer. That's how long ago it is. And him and a bunch of other Vikings, they conquered a frost giant, and so they're pretty much partying after that, and drinking and all that kind of stuff. And then there's a scream that they hear, and they go out and see what it is, and it's by the river. And in the river is a severed head and just severed body pieces. And Thor pretty much says that this is not the head of an average person; it's the head of a god. And so he had never seen, just the terror in somebody's eyes that is a god, and just the head clean cut off. And so that sticks with Thor for as long as it's been with him to the present day, where then he saves a planet, and then the people of that planet tell him that they don't have gods. That's why they pray to Asgardian gods. And so then he goes out and he looks for those gods, and he finds that they've all been killed. All of that planet's gods have been killed, and he comes to one conclusion about what or who could have killed all these gods. And then in the millennia further, it shows everything coming back together, and this whole god killer thing all ties together throughout these 3 parts in time. I'm not going to give any more away with this. Go read it for yourself. This is the first issue, so it does leave you in a good place to want to read the second issue. The pacing is good in this. It's not very action filled, but the story moves along. So I also have to give this another 4 out of 5. Next issue we have Amazing Spider-Man 697. This is the conclusion to the what was it called? The Danger Zone. Yeah, the Danger Zone story arc. And so where we left off, the two hobgoblins, they're looking for what's called the Goblin Key. And the Goblin Key is a key to pretty much the cache of weapons and pretty much the storage house for where Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, has kept all his weapons and technology and everything that he has in that cache. So the two goblins are after that, and now Max and Peter have it, and Peter is pretty much fending off the goblins while trying to make everybody think that he's not Spider-Man at the same time, but he's got to, you know, be Spider-Man pretty much without being Spider-Man. So that gives you a lot of good back and forth between Peter, and also with the Spider Sense jammers out there still getting these bad feelings in his head. And so there's a lot of good story throughout this, and there's a lot of good suspense, and there's some humor in this too. It really reminds me. This story really reminds me of older Spider-Man stories from the David Michelini stuff that I've been reading in that omnibus that I have. It's a really good story. I could say that this story, this whole story arc, take some bits and pieces out, and you can still have a great story just in one issue. It could be a one issue just because everything has moved along very well throughout this story arc, and I really like this. I really like this entire story arc. Hobgoblin, the Roderick Kingsley Hobgoblin, the older Hobgoblin with the glider. That's the Hobgoblin I like most. I don't really like the Phil Urich Hobgoblin, not because he's bad, like a bad character. He's just kind of annoying. Where I think Kingsley is a more professional Hobgoblin, but they're both pretty dangerous, and they're both pretty just clumsy in their work because they're so wrapped up in each other that they let get away with what they want. And now obviously the conclusion of this, Spider-Man and Peter Parker, they win. And he says at the end that he feels like he got off too easy with this. And then you see pieces being set up for the last story arc. And I'm not going to ruin it, but it puts you in a mood where things are gonna get serious. Things are gonna get really serious, and all I can say is I really hope that this Marvel Now Superior Spider-Man is still Peter Parker. That's all I'm gonna say. Amazing Spider-Man 697, 4.5 out of 5. And the last book that I read, and this is the pick of the week, it's gonna have a 6 out of 5, and it's Batman issue 14. This Joker story is just amazing. Batman is put through all this stress, all this torment from the Joker, and you know the Joker is reenacting all his older plots against Batman, against all this kind of stuff that Batman's foiled in the past. So Joker's reenacting all of those things, and it's just getting really bad. And in this issue, the Joker kidnaps Alfred. He kidnaps Alfred from Wayne Manor. So if that doesn't get your head turning, I don't know what will. So you pretty much get the sense that Joker knows who Batman is, and that's pretty serious. And he poisons Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon almost dies in this, and it's a very graphic page. It's a full page of just Jim Gordon bleeding out, and it's very graphic. I would not show little kids this, but the story is absolutely amazing. The Joker has so many tricks up his sleeve, and if this is probably a spoiler alert. Spoiler alert! If you're watching this video and haven't read Batman issue 14 and don't want this to be spoiled yet, turn it off, put the video on pause, fast forward a little bit right now, because I'm about to ruin it for you. Okay. The Joker says that he knows who everybody, all the secret identities of the Bat family, and he's planning on killing all of them one by one. He says he knows their addresses, who they are, and where they frequently go to. He says he even knows to the brand of soap that they use. And so things are getting very, very serious. And that's why this is the pick of the week. Gave it a 6 out of 5. Incredible. And also even the second story at the end, after the main story, it has a Joker and Penguin. And there's some good back and forth with them. And it ties in, of course, to the main story. Don't really need to go into detail with that, though. But yeah, that was the last of my books that I read this week. Definitely a strong week. I wish I would have had more physically with me, but I don't. And yeah, so if you like my videos, or if you have anything to say about my videos, comments are definitely, I definitely want comments on my videos. Say if I'm doing anything wrong, or if you guys want to see something, or whatever you guys want. Comment my videos, try to get into contact. I'll respond back. I don't get a lot of messages or comments, so I will definitely respond back to whatever you have to say. And share my videos if you think they're good enough for that. I'm trying to expand this channel, and just keep watching. And so this is Wellington with the Comic Book Lowdown, and I'll see you guys next time.